Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. 90 Day Fiance. Shocking history behind Loren and Big Ed's tell-all fight explained. 90 Day Fiance has given rise to various kinds of stars with very different personalities. Most of them are more toxic than ever, but there are some who win hearts with their earnestness. Big Ed is from the former category, while Loren Brovarnik is from the latter. Of course, these cast members have no reason to interact with one another as they are so different. But when tell-all comes into play, it spares no one, and it turns into one massive mess. Everyone is very excited to see the upcoming tell-all. That's because TLC has had a mix of both good and bad this time around. The promo gave away that Loren and Big Ed are going to get into a nasty fight. But there's more to this. It turns out they have had a cold war going on before they came face to face with each other. As mentioned above, 90 Day Fiancé fans never expect reality stars from opposite ends to fight one another. But when tell-alls take place, cast members with different personalities are expected in the studio, and chaos is guaranteed. There was a moment like this between Loren and Big Ed, too. But little do people know they have a history. It turns out that a few years ago, Loren and Alexei had mentioned loathing Big Ed in a podcast. The latter had replied to it by saying he was disappointed, as the former didn't even know him. He considered her a bottom feeder, and said she was like the kind of people who make troll accounts to spew hate online to people. With reference to that, Loren ended up charging at Big Ed during the tell-all. She called him out for his previous bottom feeder comment and also mentioned she didn't like him. 90 Day Fiancé knew that Big Ed deserved such treatment for his arrogant remarks. But they were really surprised to see such an aggressive response from Loren. While everyone often expects Big Ed to always be toxic, Loren's anger really surprised the fans. In fact, in her and Alexei's happily ever after storyline, 90 Day Fiancé fans were surprised to see how it was solely focused on her makeover. Loren had opted for cosmetic surgery to get her desired physique. At the same time, there was news about Alexei hunting local Miami spas to give him a discount for promoting the place, as he wished to bring his wife there on her birthday. Because of all these instances, fans have a theory that the family's pockets are running dry. Hence, they are trying to cause controversies on the show to stay relevant and get more seasons for their storyline. Everyone thought Loren was trying to cause drama, just like toxic stars like Angela and Big Ed. All of this made them suspect that it was an elaborate attempt to hog the limelight. Keep track of all the latest 90 Day Fiancé news. When fans tune into 90 Day Fiancé tell-all specials, they expect a blend of tension, tears, and those jaw-dropping confrontations that only reality TV can deliver. But no one could have predicted the explosive fight between Loren Brovarnik and Big Ed Brown during the most recent tell-all taping. The clash was not just another fleeting spat, it was years in the making, with simmering tensions, behind-the-scenes shade, and deep-seated resentment finally boiling over. So, what really happened between Loren and Big Ed? Why did two cast members, who seemingly never crossed paths romantically, ignite one of the most talked-about fights in 90 Day Fiancé history? Let's break down the shocking history that led up to this unforgettable showdown. The tell-all that shook fans. The tell-all episode started like any other. Couples rehashing their season drama, Sean Robinson asking pointed questions, and the cast exchanging side eyes. But when the topic shifted to accountability, specifically how cast members treat their partners, Big Ed found himself in the hot seat. Viewers have long accused Ed of belittling his partners, including Rose Vega and Liz Woods. The montage of clips replayed during the tell-all showed Ed's most infamous moments. His awkward demands, patronizing comments, and breakups that seemed more staged than heartfelt. As Ed defended himself, Loren, who has always been outspoken about respect and communication in relationships, finally snapped. "You treat women like they're disposable," she fired at Ed. "It's disgusting." What followed was a verbal sparring match that stunned both the cast and audience. Ed barked back that Loren was just jealous of his spotlight, while Loren accused him of embarrassing the franchise with his antics. Sean Robinson struggled to control the room as voices rose, but the damage was done. This was no surface-level squabble. Why Loren took it personally. Fans who have followed Loren since her 90 Day Fiancé, happily ever after? Days know she has always been protective of women on the show. Having faced her own struggles, whether with postpartum journeys, Tourette syndrome awareness, or online mom-shaming, Loren values honesty and empathy above all. To her, Ed symbolized the very opposite. Over the years, Loren had subtly thrown shade at him on social media. While she never outright attacked him, fans noticed likes on tweets that criticized Ed's behavior, especially toward Rose. Insiders even claim that Loren once told producers she didn't want her storyline associated with Ed's because he gives the show a bad name. By the time the tell-all aired, Lauren's patience had run out. Her fiery defense wasn't just about Liz Woods or Rose Vega. It was about holding someone accountable for years of behavior she found humiliating to women everywhere. Big Ed's side of the story. Ed, on the other hand, has never been one to back down from controversy. Since his Before the 90 Days debut, he has leaned into his cringe-worthy reputation, using memes and viral moments to fuel his fame. When Loren called him out, Ed didn't see it as constructive criticism. He saw it as an attack on his brand. He quickly deflected, accusing Loren of trying to stay relevant by coming after him. Ed even pulled the "you don't know me" card, suggesting that Loren only sees an edited version of him. Behind the scenes, however, cast insiders have whispered that Ed has long been wary of Lauren's rising popularity. Unlike him, Lauren's fanbase is rooted in authenticity. She's a mom, a wife, and a reality star whose storylines focus more on family than chaos. To Ed, who thrives on spectacle, Lauren's perfect family image might feel threatening. The tell-all gave him the perfect stage to lash out. The long-brewing social media tension. Fans often forget that the cast interacts in subtle ways online long before we see them clash on camera. In the case of Loren and Ed, their digital history reads like a slow-burn feud. 2019. Loren shared an Instagram story supporting Rose Vega after her breakup with Ed, calling Rose brave and strong. While she never named Ed, the implication was clear. 2020. A fan asked Loren in a Q&A if she would ever do a spin-off with Ed. Her blunt reply, "No thanks." 2021. Loren liked several tweets labeling Ed a walking red flag. Screenshots circulated quickly in fan groups. 2023. During Ed and Liz's umpteenth breakup, Loren posted a cryptic quote about respecting yourself enough to walk away from toxic people. Many believed it was aimed at Ed. By the time the tell-all cameras rolled, both stars were already carrying baggage from years of indirect shade. It was only a matter of time before it spilled into the open. Other cast members seemed torn during the fight. Some, like Yara Zaya and Kalani Fagata, sided with Loren, nodding in agreement as she called Ed out. Others, like Angela Deem, surprisingly defended Ed, saying he was just being himself. Sean Robinson attempted to steer the conversation back to calmer waters, but the back and forth escalated to the point where Ed stormed off set for a few minutes. Producers reportedly had to intervene to convince him to return. Fans, of course, erupted on social media. Twitter and Reddit lit up with reactions like, "Loren said what we've all been thinking for years. Ed always deflects instead of apologizing. Classic. Best tell-all moment ever." Why this fight mattered. Reality TV thrives on conflict, but Loren and Ed's fight felt different. It wasn't about cheating scandals, messy divorces, or cultural clashes. It was about values. Loren represented a faction of fans who want the franchise to showcase genuine love stories, growth, and accountability. Ed, meanwhile, represented the side of the show that thrives on shock value and cringeworthy entertainment. Their fight was less about personal animosity and more about what 90 Day Fiance should stand for. Will this rivalry continue? Insiders hint that producers love the drama so much, they're considering a spin-off segment focusing on cast members debating relationship ethics. Some even speculate Loren and Ed could be paired for a future Pillow Talk-style series to capitalize on their rivalry. For now, neither has backed down. Loren doubled down on Instagram after the tell-all, writing, "Accountability isn't hate, it's growth." Ed clapped back on TikTok, insisting he won't apologize for being entertaining. If history is any indication, this feud is far from over. Final thoughts. The shocking tell-all fight between Loren and Big Ed wasn't just a random flare-up. It was the result of years of tension, clashing values, and simmering resentment. Loren, known for her authenticity and protective nature, finally unleashed years of frustration toward Ed's behavior, while Ed, never one to admit fault, fought back with his trademark defensiveness. Love them or hate them, both stars brought one of the most unforgettable moments in 90 Day Fiancé history. And if fans know anything about this franchise, it's that grudges don't fade quietly. They only get louder in the next season.